The live stream will have audio in 2 minutes. At 8:28, we will begin to talk. The podcast will have audio in 1 minute. Thank you for taking your time to sit here and listen to nothingness. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the first ever podcast that we are doing. This is Draft Attack, where we talk about certain topics pertaining to NASCAR and all three of its top series and some of the lower series, depending on how hot the topic is. Isn't that right, fellas?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm your host, ManTryon24. For tonight, I'm your host for the pilot podcast, and these are my co-hosts.
I am Top Dragster.
And I am Velocity 88X.
So, to give you a briefing of what this podcast will be doing, what we will be doing with these podcasts, we will be doing a pre-race and post-race live stream. Usually, the pre-race will be on Friday. The post-race will be the day after the race. So that's dependent. And there will be, at times, random midweek podcasts. But again, all podcasts will be late at night, probably like 8:30 p.m. or 9, somewhere in there, depending on what's going on. So, anything else you two want to add to it?
Well,
Go
you
ahead.
go ahead, Top. Go ahead, Top.
Okay, I was just about to say, if I'll be looking over the chat myself. So if you have any questions or whatever, I'll be the one in charge of that, and then I'll relate to you guys. Okay, go ahead, Velocity.
I was going to say thanks for allowing us to do this. I'm glad we were able to get this put together, and I hope we can do something cool with it.
Yeah, maybe this will turn into a career of nothing but us three morons doing something really stupid.
Yeah.
we'll get added to the Dirty Mo Radio lineup.
Oh my gosh, no, that's not going to happen. Hey, if you guys haven't heard of Dirty Mo Radio, it's Dale Jr.'s podcast line. I really suggest checking that out. That was kind of the inspiration with this whole podcast idea, so go check them out.
I would particularly recommend the Dale Jr. download, as well as the what's it called, Door Bumper Clear, right?
Yep, those are the two best podcasts on there.
And if in the chat here we can stay cool, okay.
There we go. All right. So, and yes, I personally did that for. All right. So let's. This podcast we will be talking about paint schemes, as in the title. It's in parentheses paint scheme pilot because I had to make something rhyme.
I think Draft Attack is pretty random, but I like the name.
That was
Yeah.
actually that was actually my NTGIL, or NASCAR the Game Inside Line, in case you didn't know what that was. That was my driver name for a while. But anyways, guys, let's get started with our paint schemes, I guess, if you want to. If not, we can continue just to talk like idiots.
I'm ready to get on it.
Yeah, let's
All
talk
right.
paint schemes.
So where should we
So-
start?
The worst paint schemes of 2016 so far, by our opinions. Y'all's might be different. By the way, all paint schemes that we are looking at have come from the JSki website.
Shout out to
If
J-Ski.
you get there, yeah. If you don't know what JSki is, just type in JAYSKI in Google, or you can simply just type in NASCAR paint schemes 2017 to look at NASCAR paint schemes.
So which
All
one
right,
should
let's
we start
get
with?
to it.
All right, so let me enlarge the chat here because I can't see it because I'm on a Kindle half the time. But all right, you want to start with the number 72?
Yeah, probably one of the most plain ones of the year so far.
It's Florida lottery, but here's the thing I don't like. It kind of looks like Dale Jr.'s Darlington throwback.
Yeah, I would have to agree with
It
that.
has a retro look, but the only reason I don't like it is, number one, they used a 2015 Ford body to show the design of
Oh,
it.
you're right. I just realized that.
Yeah, but the second thing is that light bit of purplish pink on it. It just no.
It's plain.
I don't know.
There's really nothing to it. I mean, I'll give it a little bit of leeway because it's TriStar,
True.
but it's just
Hello,
it's
Eric.
nothing.
Yeah, it's plain.
It's very, very stupid looking in my opinion. It's just my opinion, guys. If y'all want to go check it out, you can.
So you think it's a ripped off version of the Grey Ghost scheme? Is that what you're trying to say?
I think it is, just to be honest with you, the way it looks. And that might have been inspiration, but you can't say it's a ripoff because, Junior's full-time scheme last year for Nationwide kind of looked like the Grey Ghost.
Well, that's what it was based off of.
Yeah, so whenever it was actually unveiled at Darlington, you could kind of tell what it was going to be anyway. But this, no, it just don't look right. It looks like something that needs to be raced at Darlington, if you ask me.
Yeah,
Yeah. Good point.
and even for a Darlington throwback, it would still be kind of subpar compared to some others.
Very true. Very true. Y'all want to jump to the second one, or y'all want to give that one a rating? Y'all want to do a rating system?
What would be the rating system?
1 to 10, like 1 being it looks like a toilet. It looks like something you find in the toilet. 10 being it could pass.
I'd give it a 4, maybe a 5.
That's a 3 at best.
I'd give that probably about a 4. The velocity's more like a 4.5.
Yeah, okay,
Since
4.5.
I mean, since you're between it, you might as well just split it down the middle.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What was the other one?
Wait, you mean the? No, I'm talking. No, now I'm talking the Nationwide scheme that Jeff raced at Darlington, the Junior Cutting. Best thing of my life.
Oh,
right.
How about Danica's code? What's that again?
Code 3?
Yeah,
Code 3 Associates.
3.
Yeah.
It's a step up from Stewart. I know any Stewart fans watching this. Stewart's scheme was just black with just yellow on it. Really nothing changed. It's kind of like Brad Keselowski's Miller Lite. But Keselowski's Miller Lite, it looks okay. This Code 3 car, I don't know what they were thinking. They go from black and yellow to blue, gray, and white.
I'd say as far as Danica's schemes go, that's probably my favorite.
It not really. I like her 2016 Nature's Bakery, to be honest with you, or the 2014 GoDaddy. Now that one was actually pretty cool.
I don't know.
The GoDaddies were always the best because it's like, oh, there's Danica. That's very easy to find her in these bright colored cars, and now she's gone to just plain and really not much to it. I greatly preferred her tax scheme that she ran at Fontana last year.
Now hold up. I'm sorry, Tom, but speaking of Danica Patrick and Nature's Bakery, later in the show, Velocity 80X will share with us some information if you didn't know already.
All right.
We'll save that for later.
Yeah, but I just thought I'd bring that up.
So stay tuned.
Right.
The rating on the number 10 here for code 3.
See, I'm gonna give it an 8 just because I actually like this one.
I'm going to give it a 7 because it's up there toward it could pass, but there again, it just doesn't look right.
A 5, probably just because it's like
5?
the most stock, bland, really nothing to it. But that's just how I see it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just
just
my opinion.
Fair.
You all have different opinions. Plus the fact that it's a 10 car and it's a 4, that's still really foreign looking to me.
Now this last paint scheme is, I don't know. Hey, Velocity, I thought you were going to send some of your paint schemes in here.
Will do.
Yeah, the ugly ones that you picked, but this one, oh dear God, what were they thinking?
Did we talk about the 43?
That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what they were thinking. Air Camarola's STP-43, like, Air Camarola's paint schemes have been pretty consistent in the last years. You know, they might change up a color here or there just to make it fit that sponsor. Like the Florida Educational Lottery thing, like what Colwitt's sponsored by. No, the Fresh from Florida. Excuse me, Fresh from Florida. I'm sorry. It's wrong. But the Fresh from Florida, the Smithfield, STP, they just kind of change up just a bit on the scheme. Well, they decided this year that STP was going to get I would say more like an inverted color system here. Because if you flip it around and put the blue where the red is, I believe that would look a lot better. They overpowered the blue in this situation.
I think the way it is, it would look really good on any other car, not the 43.
True.
They tried to.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that they tried to kind of pettyize it too much. You know how they got that petty curve on the side? That's fine, but what they did in the hood was just criminal. You know?
Yeah, that's just a case of, well, it's a petty car, so let's make it petty on drugs or something.
Hey, Chris, and y'all, the Kyle Larson car, it could be coming up in our favorite paint schemes later. I'm saying it could be. So just hold your horses.
I'll be perfectly honest, Bonnie. I don't like it either. But again, that's just me. But anyway, as far as the 43 rating.
That thing, I'm just going to be honest with you, that thing gets like a 2 because that just, God.
You put that on anything else that's not petty related, I'd give that an 8 at least. But on the 43, that's a good 3.
Wait, Velocity, are you adding the ones that you don't like or do like to this list?
Don't.
Okay.
Hey, I was gonna make a custom out of that one.
I'm looking at the 96 here.
In fact, yeah, that's the one that I was gonna do. That one I actually have it up there. That one looks pretty good in my opinion.
I think that one. I think that one would make a really good custom car as like a die-cast.
Hey, I made one for Tyson's friend Spencer.
Okay.
So,
which one? Which car?
96.
I made a 72 custom that'll be in my series, but that's not the point. All right, let's Velocity. Which one do you want us to start with?
Let's start with well, since the 15 car is first, let's look at that one.
15. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
It's just kind of plain. I mean, it's just a plain white and blue. I mean, they got pictures on the side, but it's just kind of plain. I mean, I know it's Michael Waltrip's last race, but
yeah, but I don't think that the hashtag thanks Mikey will be on the front because I don't think anyone thanks Mikey.
No,
Chris Myers certainly doesn't. Oh man.
So
too far.
What would you guys rate this?
The Michael Waltrip.
I'll be perfectly honest. I'm going to give that the inconclusive for me because I think that that's a bad picture.
Maybe.
It could be a bad picture. I mean, like Junior's nationwide car. Whenever you first sent me that picture of Velocity, the very first one, I thought that thing is like ugly. But then I seen it in a different light. Like whenever they finally had a car of it, it looked beautiful. So I'm going to give this one, just from this view, and because it might look better, depending, I'm going to give it a 5 because it's just halfway the way you look at it.
I'll give it a 6.
I'd have to wait and see a better view. But that Toyota front certainly looks different.
It's the new Toyota.
Yep.
Velocity, you want to jump to the next one?
All right, we're looking at the 96 of, I think it's DJ Kennington.
Which the fact that he's even going to try and run the 500 absolutely astonishes me.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We were trying to figure out if or how he can actually run that race. Because what were you saying, Top, earlier? We were talking about this.
DJ Kennington. I heard from a source that you have to run at least on a 1.5 mile track before you could run on a super speedway. And as far as I know, DJ Kennington's only start in the Cup Series was at Phoenix in the chase race last year. And that ain't no 1.5 miles. And Nabstatin, we might be.
All right, so as for this paint scheme, we're looking at the 96 of DJ Kennington, sponsored by Lorco Auto Parts. It's a light blue, a black, and a white car.
I'm going to be honest with you. This scheme was actually one of my favorites that they've released so far.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go ahead and give you my score of it. It's going to be 10 out of 10. I'm sorry. Because I was going to make some out of this one. And it just the blue to the black to the white, the color of the blue, the way that they have all these colors. See, I look at stuff like that. It just goes together like peanut butter and jelly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I do feel like it looks pretty cool. I feel like that it's, again, kind of just like the stock kind of thing. So I would give considering the fact that this 96 car is for some team that I've never even probably just now came into the woodwork, I'd give it probably 6.5 if I can do that.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I just don't like the light deep sea blue or light blue or whatever.
Well, I mean, people have different taste in colors. And that color, just from the picture, looks to be more of like it looks kind of like a mix. It kind of looks like the Panthers blue, to be honest with you. And that's kind of why, I like blue. Blue is one of my favorite colors. Black is my all-time favorite color, so you can't go wrong with black, except for Denny Hamlin's old cars.
All right.
Hey, guys, we just got a submission on a paint scheme from Bonnie Gaming 92. He just submitted the 41 car. We'll review that one in a minute.
Where's it at? Did he send a picture or something?
Yeah, he sent it in another chat here. He sent the 41.
I can't see some of those chats. That's the problem.
All right, we'll get around to that a little bit later.
Agreed.
All right, I want to move on to this next paint scheme here.
Trevor Payne's game.
God,
we're going to look at the number 6, Liberty National. I think it's life insurance.
That
Trevor Bain?
No.
Here's my thing. Here's the one thing I have with it. The green numbers do not go along with the blue scheme. If the number was a different color, I think it'd be a great paint scheme. But the green number just ruins it.
This is what I see. Whenever I see the 6, the number 6, I think of the number either being white, maybe a little red in it. It has, or maybe yellow. I see that. And with bullet, okay, anyone with color common sense knows that dark of a blue, you don't put green and blue really together at all, to be honest with you. But you definitely don't put a dark blue with a light green. No.
Exactly.
It almost looks like it really shouldn't be there. It looks almost like Photoshop.
Yeah, but if you look on the very front, where the number's at, under the headlight. You can't see the bottom half of the number.
That's a good point.
So that would be a 4 probably for me. Maybe a 5.
I'll say 6 and just be nice.
I'm not going to be nice at all, and I'm going to be straight up honest here. I would literally, from the paint schemes I've seen, this is 1.5. That you're lucky I didn't give that thing a 1. Look, I want to do auto body, right? So and I love to paint stuff. So I see colors in different ways than most people. I have that artistic part kind of to paint. And that's what I'm giving this, because they didn't even get the gray in it. It's like a backwards version of Danica Patrick's Code 10. Just throw a green number on it.
Yeah, you're right. Now that I think about that.
Yeah, that almost looks like all of Danica's schemes from like the GoDaddy to the Nature's Bakery to this Code 3 whatever. All just threw up onto one car, and now we have the 6 car.
And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I like how it reminds me of Levelers. Yeah, same here, Nab. But you're not gonna like this, Nab. Velocity, say the scheme.
All right, the next one we're looking at here is the number 11 FedEx Express primary of Denny Hamlin. My thing is there's just too much purple in it. Like, I don't know. I liked his black scheme better. I feel like there was just some purple and orange in it, but there's just too much purple in it.
I'm going to be 100% honest on this. This scheme, literally, and just like Nab said over here, it reminds you of the Jason Leffler 05 scheme. And think about it. You know, they never change up how the pattern goes. All they do is just change the color, so there'll be green on it, blue on it, red on it.
Yeah.
And I like that. The purple, there's not, to me, the purple is a better thing than the black. And that's coming from somebody who loves black. It's just Hamlin's schemes never really looked good. His 2015 to 2016 ones, they looked okay. But this one, it reminds me of the Leffler scheme and the one that he ran at Martinsville in 2013. So, and I actually have Hamlin's Leffler tribute car that he ran at Michigan in here somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go searching for it. But
I have to say, I mean, just looking at the picture itself, I think it looks absolutely awesome. The only problem is I have a very hard time picturing it like on track. Like I could imagine it being on track, and just like with the way that the light might be, I could see it looking worse.
Yeah.
So that's one of those that it's kind of hard to go off of a little bit, but
from what I've seen,
but from what I'm seeing here, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I give that a 9 in terms of acceptability.
I'm going to give that a 10. It's kind of like the 96. I like it, and that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat are saying. And yes, Chris, yes, we're all on the same page. Trevor Baines, paint scheme designer, can't design anything. He needs to be fired and probably sent back to painting school. But we have how many people watching? 1 viewer.
Yay.
Shout out to that one viewer. Yeah.
Oh, now we have 2.
2.
All right.
Yay. Now, have you guys seen the scheme that Bonnie sent here, which is the Kurt Busch Green Mobile 1 scheme?
I have seen that.
Can someone send it in this chat? Because I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's a leak scheme. Just give
All
me
right.
a few minutes. I gotta go find it.
I have to save the darn thing.
Well, do something, because I'm not on the man phone.
All right. This will take me just a second. I'm sorry, guys. This is our first ever stream, so we're just now learning the ropes.
Well, this is our first ever podcast.
Oh, yeah. But here it is.
Oh, dear God. Jesus Christ, what
Yeah,
me?
it's nasty.
Someone wasn't thinking. They decided just to let their child buy a far love the car. I mean, blue note. This is what I was talking about. You do not mix blue and green. This thing, I'm just being completely. It looks like it looks like a kid decided, like in third grade, they decided to take paint and paint grass and paint a blue sky and leave the rest of the paper white, and say, "Here, mommy, Father's Day, I painted you grass and beautiful sky," and like you have a 10-foot sheet of paper, with like the 2-inch strip green all the way down, and then the rest just white with a little 2-inch streak of blue down the center. It's like, "Here, mommy, I love you." And the mama's like, "Oh yes, it looks good." And it's like all the Kurt Busch things. It looks good. I can't, because he's my favorite driver. Honestly, that thing's gonna hit the track, and like, I think I'm gonna throw up that whole race. And if it wins the race, I think I'm just gonna like punch the freaking TV because the paint scheme is the one that Kurt Busch wins in the race. Like, none of Kurt Busch's schemes, besides I think it's his Haas scheme. It looks okay. Once you crap, there's not enough green on it, too much black yet again. God, these people cannot design paint. It's like, if you look at all the odd years, the paint schemes look like total trash. Look at all the even numbered years. The paint schemes look good.
Hey, Bonnie, that is perfectly okay. I think it looks fine. Like, that's the only word I can use to describe it is fine.
I'm gonna give that thing like a 0. That's off the scale. Just that thing.
I'm gonna give that a 4 because it's just awful. The green doesn't go well with the white. And the blue
I agree. I don't know if it's just because that's not like the real car and it's just an animated car. It just makes it look worse. But
No, you don't mix blue and green together. No. And seriously, like, what is
and
up
I
with
thought
these
Trevor Bain did it badly.
people?
Yeah.
Now, I'm just gonna rant on this a bit. Like, you people keep saying Tony Stewart's Formula One car looks good. No, it doesn't. It looks just like this. It's like that kid who leaves 30%. He like draws in 2%. Another 98% is just white. And he's like, "Look at my beautiful masterpiece." When I was a kid and I did something, I had to fill out the whole bit of that white. These Mobile One designers, they don't know color. They just like throw a bunch on the bottom, leave the rest A-okay, and just woohoo! What freaking do? It's like they are lazy. They get paid, and they just decide, "Oh yeah, we're getting paid to do nothing. Let's go with it." All right, cool.
I just want to point out, if you're speaking of lazy, look at the car I just sent. I think that's lazy.
Kyle Larson's number 42 Credit One Chevrolet.
That car looks good.
It looks it looks fine, but at the same time, I'm just getting a feeling of like
it could be better.
Very, very little effort was put into it.
It could be better.
Now, hold up. I want to point out to you guys. Again, y'all might love to paint and stuff. Y'all might know how to do color a certain way, but let me tell you something. It might not look to like people that don't do this stuff. It might not look like a lot of effort was put into it, but I'm being completely honest with you. The time it took to figure out the colors of blue that you could blend together to make it actually look good. And then you had to add in the white, and you had to add it in a certain way. Like, you see how they added in, they didn't do much of anything. Mm-hmm. They tried to put unique designs into it. This car, I would actually have to say, is probably one of the ones that took the most time and looks the best in how it's presented.
Hmm.
And sure, to some people, they're like, you just slap some colors together. This car can't just slap colors together. It took time to make this intricate, faded design into the different colors. We're not talking Trevor Bain and Danica Patrick where you just slap a color of blue, color of white, slap on a green or a black, and then just go have at it. No, this took some time. You see the boomerang effect in it. You see like the grates in it. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I'll give it maybe like 8.5. It's pretty good. I mean, and that's a good point. I never thought about that with the color blending and stuff. So I'm gonna
It's
give
just-
it an 8.5.
I'm gonna give that like a 10. It's because we're on like the bad paint schemes. Like y'all pulling out the bad ones. Some of these I actually find very
Yeah.
good looking, but again,
Yeah.
everyone has different tastes. So
But yeah, I was just about to say if anyone has, anyone has any other schemes that they hate, I feel like we should maybe start to get into some of the good ones.
I'm getting there.
Unless
I'm
of
gonna
course,
start-
unless of course you guys have any others that you really hate.
And that's all for me.
I'll just throw out there that Paul Menard's just looks like a standard stock. Man.
Hold on, I'm sending in my good ones. Yeah, it just
Okay.
okay. So, again, it's just a wad of black. A wad,
And yellow.
black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow,
That
black
is
and yellow.
exactly the same thing that jumped into my head.
But it's not like the bumblebee. You know, you make it look like a bumblebee,
Right.
and you're doing excellent. And by the way, since I had this picture downloaded into the ones that I was going to review as good, that's why it just popped up again.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's no problem.
And again, these are the ones that I'm sending in that I like this year.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or so.
Not a problem.
Um,
This one.
and final one.
All right.
By the way, at the end, before we end like the paint scheme talk and we let you jump into the news velocity,
Yeah.
we're gonna rant on one paint scheme. I am at least.
All right.
So,
All right. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
who's ready to? Unless someone else is sending in pictures.
Whoops. I'll just throw in one more here that I think looks really nice.
Okay. Let me
All right,
let me see if I got a few. I know I got
Let
one.
me make sure. Yep, here it is.
We'll
There's
just go
one.
through these in order.
Agreed.
Oh God, those look beautiful. I know I didn't send in that one paint scheme because I didn't. I figured one of y'all would have it in there. Velocity. If you send that one, you have to send in the.
I got it. I know what you're talking about. I got it.
You got to send in. Mm-hmm.
I
And
just
you know
I just have to find it. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I'm not sending that one.
Come on.
I'm sending.
Fine.
I'm sending this one though. Once I save it.
You'll have to send in it.
Oh,
have
I
to
know
save-
exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, that's what you have to do.
I'll save it and send it just for the heck of it. But there's the one I was talking about. Yeah, that one.
Oh,
All right.
have
Yeah, I
to
know which one
send-
you're talking about. I got you. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I have that. I have that. I'm gonna
Oh
go
my
find
gosh,
it
how many
here.
have we sent here so far?
So,
All right, I feel like we should go ahead and start on these. So I think
I was going to say, let Velocity find the picture.
No,
Send it
you
in.
guys go ahead and get started. This will take a minute.
All right,
I know I have
so,
it.
and also since Nabstatin brought it up, Brad Kozowski's worth number 2 car.
Yes,
Which is
this
actually in here, and that's the first one we're gonna go over, I think.
Yep.
Yes, and that is what I was going to say. Reminiscent of the 2016 chase cars. And I wish that they would have brought this to all his paint schemes except the one that's right below it that we're going to be discussing. Because I feel that this is a better design. Once I seen his like Miller Lite scheme unveiled last year for the chase, it looked magical. It was just the right colors and all. The Worth scheme, it looks pretty good. Top or Velocity, go ahead, talk about it.
All right.
Go ahead, Velocity.
I think there's too much red in it. I don't think the original had as much red in it, and I don't know. Maybe it's just that I'm not used to it, but I'm not sure if I like it. So I'm gonna give it maybe 7.5.
Okay. Top.
I think it's cool. It looks a lot. For some reason, it looks a lot like the scheme that you'd only run at Darlington for the throwback race.
That's a good point.
But I do think that it looks really cool. I will give it that, but it looks more like a throwback scheme than a regular scheme that you'd run during the regular season.
So what's your rating?
But I agree with the 7.5, maybe an 8, because now we've gone from like acceptable to like actually okay, this is good.
By the way, this scoring system on this, guys, is 1 is it could pass as ugly, 10 is magnifique. So we're just stepping it up. I'm gonna give this an 8.
Okay.
It's not good looking with the red, but it's a change to his schemes, just being flat out like one big wad of black or one big wad of white or one big wad of blue.
I will be perfectly honest. I like it slightly better than that SKF one, or the blue and white one.
I like the SKF one. Actually, I think like with the new style of headlights, the blue goes along really well with it. It's flat color. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it, which I kind of like.
Yeah, the SKF Keselowski car, it's just I don't know. It's a good combination. They didn't go too heavy on the blue. They didn't. I could say they went a little heavy on the white. They could have maybe added a little bit more blue somewhere, but other than that, it looks good. The coloring, I like how it's glossed over. It looks nice. Just really good skin.
I'd give it a 6.5.
I'll give it an 8.
I'm going to actually give that 8 as well. It's very, very beautiful.
Now, we already did Kyle Larson. Now, but the next one in this, I'm going to go ahead and say it. My favorite scheme, probably, if not second favorite. Oh, that's a tight one, but this is definitely in the top 2 of my favorite schemes for this year. Eric Jones, 77, 5-hour energy Toyota.
And by the way, the Kyle Larson, since we're on the good scale, I'm giving it a 10. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, no, a 9, and I'm going to give the Eric Jones an actual 10.
I give the Eric. I don't care. I'm giving Eric Jones 10,000.
Okay.
That thing is.
I'll give it.
That thing is 6A.
Yeah. Then I'll probably give it an 8. I mean, it's a little different. I kind of like with the bolt. Kind of, it's jagged, and I don't know if I'm used to that. I like it. I like it. It's definitely a 5-hour energy scheme, and it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, it's good looking. I think that 5-hour energy is starting to go back, looking at like some of their, you could say, better looking schemes, maybe.
Maybe.
They've never really had. But it's kind of like they took a combination of all of their 5-hour energy schemes, just put it into this one, gave it a nice classic looking number, like it's a more fancy looking 77 on there.
Yeah.
It's elegant. It's like bold but elegant at the same time. If that makes sense.
Exactly. I mean, the colors go perfectly together. The font, the lining on the 77 itself, the font of the 77, just everything about it, just for me at least, just goes together like a perfectly put together hamburger.
All right.
That's a pretty terrible analogy, but.
All right, this is kind of a side note here. Are you guys aware that this is not the first time that 5-Hour Energy has been the sponsor of a 77 Toyota?
I know they were the sponsor in 2011, and it was Stephen Wallace.
I thought it was Joe Nemechek.
Oh God,
Steve Wallace.
Steve Wallace.
Steve Wallace. Yeah, at the 20. Okay. It was at the 2011 Cokes. No, not the 2011. No, it was 20. No, it was somewhere. I think it was 2012. He was sponsored by them too, as well.
Yeah, we'll have to check into that.
Don't know who would have sponsored him.
I remember and didn't I tell you, Velocity? I nailed it on the head when I said the number and the sponsor Eric Jones would have.
I think he did. I don't remember. I mean, the 77 was very predictable. I think.
Yes, but sponsor.
Sponsor?
5-Hour Energy.
I wasn't expecting 5-Hour Energy to leave Clint Boyer.
But remember, I said it would either be 5-Hour Energy or Double Mint. You remember that on Aflac Cup Series video?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that comment thread with like 500 when we first met. Like, has
Yeah.
500 comments now. I went through and screenshotted them, but I deleted the screenshots since. I can go back and check later.
Well,
Yeah, guys, in case you didn't know, this was like 2 months before any news was announced. Like, that Eric Jones would be driving before the scheme was unveiled, the number. Just boom, like, I got it on the head.
I feel like let's get to the 88.
all right.
Oh my goodness, that thing is also a beauty. If
Looking at
anything
the
is going to
number.
compete, if anything is going to compete with that 77 for my favorite, it's this 88 Exalta scheme.
Yeah.
True.
Um.
I think it's like the biggest step up from 2016. The 2016 one, don't get me wrong, looked beautiful. It was just nice fade from yellow up to the orange, but it kind of reminded me of Jeff's Firestorm, which kind of made me a little sad. Like, first year you're going to bring back something that looks like the Firestorm.
This looks like a firestorm.
Did you ever see the paint scheme that the 88 Exalta car from last year was based on?
I can't say I have.
It was based on an Oreo paint scheme that Dale Jr. ran when he was in the 8 car. It looks exactly like it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, snap. I think I remember that.
Yep.
But, I mean, it just, whenever we're in video calls sometimes, if you look back in the back, you see like my big Jeff Gordon fathead poster thing from 09.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, down in the bottom of the front splitter, it fades up to orange like the Exalta scheme did that Junior ran. And that's kind of what made me a little, oh, God, why'd they do that? It's just, like, first year, Exalta switches from Jeff to Junior, They just decided, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was the best move. I mean, Chase Elliott was
Okay.
coming in with the big Napa deal, and Exalta wouldn't get the number of races they wanted with Chase. So they moved over to Dale Jr.
I mean, I do have to admit, as far as like a Dale Jr. car, it does look a little strange for a Dale Jr. car.
A little bit.
For some reason. I mean, I have a hard time imagining Dale Jr. driving something like that. But the scheme itself, man.
This is more like, you know how I said Larson's scheme?
Yeah.
It took time to design it, but it just looks like they threw together some colors. This is the same way. But this also reminds me of like some really funky pack of gum or something.
It kind of does.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like
Little
Juicy
bit.
Fruit
A little
and
bit.
little kids.
But that
Actually-
is an absolutely gorgeous scheme, if I do say so myself, and that is definitely a 10 out of 10.
Hey, you see all right. When you're looking at the very front of the scheme, you see all the yellow and then it goes down that orange.
Yeah.
Follow the orange all the way back and look how it overlaps the other orange at the very back.
Yeah.
It's standing out.
Do you see
And
how
it's
it
because
fades from yellow to orange and about the middle where the 88 is?
Yeah, and
Which
you
is
see,
freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
and the reason that other is actually standing out is because of the black lines and that slight bit of gray underneath.
Yeah.
That's why it's popping out.
So do you
Freaking
guys know? Do
beast.
you guys know who designed this car?
Sam Bass.
Yep.
Ain't he the same guy that designed the Rainbow Warrior?
He might have been.
I think so.
I just know he does a lot of NASCAR drawings and stuff.
Yeah, he
About a lot of
was.
his art.
And for the people who are watching the 2 people that are brave enough to watch this stupid live stream, the original Rainbow Warrior, and I know I'm jumping off on Jeff here, but the original Rainbow Warrior, where the blue, like the big part of the blue that was in the center, like where on top of the roof of the car,
Yeah.
that section of blue, that was originally supposed to be black.
I have a hard time picturing that now.
I do too, but that's the truth.
That wouldn't have looked right.
Yeah, no, it
agree.
really was. But the junior scheme, I'm giving that a 10 out of 10 as well.
I'll give it an 8.
Oh my God, this is coming from Velocity.
I like it.
All right,
Okay,
next up.
8.5. 8.5 will be nice.
There you go. All right, next up.
Sunny D, boys.
Number
Top,
17,
this is your-
Ricky Stenhouse, Sunny D Ford. I picked that one even though it looks almost the same, to me at least, as it
It
did
is
in
pretty much the same.
2016.
That was still a really, really cool scheme because it
I have
was
that diagnosed.
it was flashy, it was cool, it was
I just-
attention grabbing, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's not like one of those darn like
Yeah.
like too much like in your face.
It really goes with the sponsor. The paint scheme goes with the sponsor.
I agree.
Hold on, I'm not trying to grab it up off the floor.
I mean, like their whole thing with Sunny D. I mean, Sunshine, pretty much like from what I've seen in their commercials.
Yeah.
And that
Sunshine.
exactly, but don't do that again. But that is exactly what that scheme is. It's got the blue on the back, which is for the 17 car and Roush. I just feel like it all comes together very nicely.
Hey guys, I'm turning on my camera. Hold on.
Yep, that's the one.
Hold on. You can't see my face, can you?
Nope.
Okay, great.
But yeah, that I mean, it just all comes together perfectly. It's perfect for the 17 car with the blue, the orange for the Sunny D part. Everything about it just comes together very nicely, in my opinion.
It does. I'm even agreeing with you.
Nope, Velocity just step away for a minute. He said keep going. So
Make up your mind, Velocity. Do you want us to keep going or hold off?
he says keep going.
Oh, okay.
We'll be back in a few minutes. All right.
All right.
We'll slow down a little, I think.
Yeah, we can slow it down just a bit, but the next scheme.
Oh, wait, we haven't rated the 17 yet.
I'm going to give it a 9 because it's the same as last year, kind of.
I agree.
It's still cool.
It would be a 10 out of 10 if it were like different from last year, but definitely a 9 because it still looks awesome.
I don't know. The way these schemes have been changing up and making different, it can go either way.
Yeah. All right. Next up, this was sent by Velocity. It is the 48 lows for Jimmy Johnson.
And this scheme, as the first time I saw it, I honestly wanted to grab a brick and take it and slam it across the guy who designed the car. Just slam it across his head. To get back to the drawing board because I just didn't like the fact that there was only one yellow number. The bottom number was blue. It didn't look right. And then I finally seen the car like they took pictures of the actual car with a scheme, and just like the Junior Nationwide, it looked beautiful.
I mean, Jimmy Johnson, as much of a Jimmy Johnson fan as I am, he has been running lows, his entire career. So the cars have looked so similar that this car almost kind of like fades into obscurity with all of those. It looks really nice. I like it. I would definitely give that probably a 7.5 at least. But just the fact that it looks pretty much the same as it has almost his entire career. That's the only problem I have, but it's still a nice car. Definitely at least a 7.5, if not 8.
I'm gonna have to add, before I do anything. Bonnie, what do you mean by like, oh dear God, Mantron? What do you mean by that? And question of the day: what sponsor do you think Chris Buescher would have if he went back to Roush, except in Cup? I think he would probably have.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
That is a good question. I don't know if let's see, what did he run in 2016 with Front Row? He ran the Loves scheme.
Yeah, I think he
I
might
don't
have
remember much for some reason. I'm drawing a blank.
He might have Fastmail and Zest. They might jump over for a few races.
I can see that maybe.
like
Welcome back.
just because Roush doesn't have that many sponsors, it could be like Cheez-It, KFC, Barney and Friends. I don't know.
Barney and Friends.
I would absolutely go to a NASCAR race and smash that car just because of that. That would be the stupidest thing ever. Even though if I ever, that's just a fun fact. If I ever got into NASCAR, it would be into the ARCA series, and I would run a Planet Dolan scheme.
Oh God. Hey, Velocity, what's your rating on the Sunny D car? What's your rating on the Johnson car?
Sunny D car, I'm going to have to give it an 8. Probably the Johnson car, I'm going to give it a 9.
I'm going to give the Johnson car an 8.5, and that's because it looks good, looks great. It just doesn't look right as of now. When I see it on the track, my mind will probably change.
Now, let me just throw this out there because Bonnie sent another scheme in the other chat. Have you guys seen Ty Dillon's number 13 Twisted Tea Chevy?
That's what Mantron, I think you wanted to talk about that.
Yes.
Oh, was that the one you were going to rant about that? Okay. I'm sorry,
Yes,
I just spoiled it.
Yeah,
Spoiler
it's
alert.
okay. It's fine. The next scheme is
That's that's a bad angle.
even from this angle, you can tell that it looks pretty good. The blue with the red, I have to say, and just how they did the trim work on it.
That's the type of scheme that I would run.
Yeah, because AJ Allmendinger schemes, they do look good depending on the sponsor and the color.
With this
Kroger-
Well, AJ Allmendinger has a lot of sponsors.
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, let's see. We got Kroger, we got Cheez-It, we got Stouffer's, we got
hold on.
Ronson, whatever that is.
Hold up, top, back it up. You said we got Kroger. We got, what did you say, Cheez-It?
Yeah, there's
Oh, he doesn't have Cheez-It.
Yeah, there's Cheez-It
Are you sure
on
about
there.
that?
Or
He's got
is-
everything on there.
Yeah, if you look at the rear of the car on the left of the.
I'm going to tell you what I thought you said, okay?
Oh boy.
He's got Kroger. All right, listen, this is what you said. He's got Kroger. He's got Jesus.
Actually,
I'm so sorry.
Like, sponsored by Jesus? Okay.
Actually, AJ Allmendinger said that team was forced to expand to 2 cars because they had too many sponsors. I have never heard of that.
Jesus.
I
You know who Jesus would sponsor?
Lol,
He would sponsor Michael McDowell.
Oh my God.
Jesus would sponsor Michael McDowell. I'm just saying.
Who just sent a message? I just got a.
That's
Oh my
why he
God, I'm dizzy. Holy crap. That was funny. That was the last thing I was expecting you to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it back so many times.
Yeah,
He's
it's
got Kroger. He's got Jesus. Anyway,
just
back to the.
Yeah, just wait. He's going to get 5 new sponsors this season. It's going to happen. Just wait. Just wait.
Man. Is one of them going to be Jesus? Jesus Christ. That's Jesus Christ.
Oh my
I'm
god.
so sorry to Bonnie and whoever else is watching.
Who
this.
does not sponsor AJ Allmendinger? That's the question.
apparently, the devil doesn't sponsor AJ Allmendinger. He's got Jesus.
Y'all remember last year when AJ Allmendinger had that butter kick that Kyle Busch had that Michael Waltrip was wearing and said, "Get yourself a Butterfinger."
I love how Velocity is trying to bring us back to Earth here.
No.
I was gonna
funny.
Well, real quick before I answer that, because you're gonna have to repeat it. I was gonna say this, and here comes the number 47 Chevy SS of AJ Allmendinger, sponsored by Jesus, presented by First Baptist Church of North America.
First Baptist Church and
then
What?
oh, here comes Kyle Busch. He's getting wrecked by the by the Church of Scientology. Shit, Toyota. I'm so sorry. I just insulted so many people. I'm probably going to get them knocking at my door now. What was I thinking?
I've
Here
never
comes the
met
Church of God.
I don't think I've ever met a Scientologist before.
Don't meet them. I've seen the documentaries. I'm getting off topic. We need to stick to NASCAR.
All right. So
So anyway, 8.5 on this number 47 Kroger Jesus car.
I'm gonna give it a 10 just because of Jesus.
no, 11. If it's Jesus, you have to give him an 11.
No, that's Hamlin.
broke the scale.
You have to give it a John 3:18.
No.
Oh no, random
See,
Bible verse.
No. I was trying to say this for Velocity, but yeah, you can bring up a verse. But hold on, Velocity. You don't go with 11. We're talking about Jesus. Don't give him Satan, okay?
What's wrong with?
Hamlin! Denny Hamlin! That's what's wrong with it.
No, that's the 18.
No,
sorry.
no.
So sorry to any Kyle Busch fans out there. I should not be this biased.
Did we just
Oh, God, we're getting-
did you just equate Kyle Busch to Satan?
No, I equated Hamlin.
I just did. I am so sorry.
He's kind of a jerk, but
Bonnie's honestly laughing. Oh man. All right. Anyways, we're gonna be on this for way too long. We need to move on to the 24 here, which we
Alright.
have 3 separate schemes here that we all like. Apparently, Velocity sent the number 24 for Kelly Blue Book.
That last Chase Elliott scheme, you're going to have to let me start that one off. Just by
Alright.
word.
All right. Yeah.
Alright.
Of course. But yeah, the Kelly Blue Book.
I honestly don't know what I think of this one.
I'm going to be honest. The Kelly Blue Book cars these last few years, since they started with Junior, they've looked like crap. And they've never gotten their act together. They just throw on a yellow. This one, they throw on gold.
Strike. Download the plate now. Free.
Who is watching Mobile Strike commercials?
I don't know. It's not me.
Not me. That was
What the...
freaking spooky.
Anyways, we were looking at the Chase Elliott Kelly Blue Book number 24 scheme.
I'm perfect. I am 100% neutral on this. I don't know why. I just look at it and my eyes almost just go, it's a car.
Yeah, it's
That's it.
it's okay, but I'd have to say this is the best thing to come up with because just how the gold goes in and it kind of like blends in better. You got the gold number on it, got the white number on the top. The blue looks
It's
okay.
certainly better than his Kelly Blue Book from last year.
I mean, just the
Certainly
attention
better
to
than-
detail on this is just amazing, and I love it.
It's
I mean,
it's like a lower class version of like the Larson and the Junior where they don't take many colors but they try and make it look good.
Yeah,
it's got more white in it, and I think
Yeah.
that really adds a lot to it.
it's okay.
Yeah.
5.5. Not
I wanna give it a
much
Five
going
and a
for it for
half?
me.
What?
Sorry,
Okay.
I don't have that much going for it for me. Like I said, I mean, I just look at it and then I go, oh, that's Chase Elliott's NASCAR.
All right, I'm
Um,
gonna
okay,
give it
okay.
maybe an 8.5.
I'm
Probably
gonna
an
give it a 6.
6.
What?
Velocity, you already know my reasons with Chase Elliott. Don't even try it.
Well,
Okay.
well, you've got to admit with the sun energy.
I'm actually keeping out the fact that it's Chase Elliott, but you kind of can at the same time. But still, if I keep the fact out that it's Chase Elliott, I'd still give it a 6.
Okay.
Kyle Busch equals Satan Bache?
Oh,
No,
gosh.
trying to
Alright,
talk in the hood. Oh,
Anyway.
Bonnie, oh, he gangster. He got his Glock out, man. 2 Glocks, holding them in his hand like a skull flag. You know, he just stand there. La-da-da-da-da.
The heck is going on here? Let's just move on to his sun energy scheme.
All right. You just see Bonnie, like his little skinny self, with like the thug life up there and holding some Glocks, just.
It's M-A-double-G Snoop Dogg. I'll stop now.
All right.
Anyway, which one do I... Okay, so the sun energy, I sent this one simply for,
Same one as last year,
well, yeah,
I think.
again, kind of like the Ricky Stenhouse, but it's just,
Are you
it's
kidding? That
just-
scheme is awesome.
it's just
There is so
beautifully
much to
put
look at in
together.
that scheme.
I mean, you could tell
Okay.
a ton of
Sun-
effort was put into that one.
The Sun Energy Wing car. My thoughts on. I'm trying to actually find the die cat. Apparently, it's somewhere under all that mess that isn't that. There it is.
The detail
Does
is
mine have all-
insane.
Hold on a sec. Hold on. Oh, God. Yeah, okay. Send a message.
Velocity is BRB again.
Hold on, I'm putting on my headphones. I have not heard a thing.
Velocity is BRB again.
Rename this to Bonnie Reacts to Weird and Funny Jokes. Dying.
XD. I don't know. I just don't know.
I'm sorry, Bonnie, but I mean, could you just, like, the videos that you post, you like just stick your head in there, you're kind of like, "Hi guys, it's Bonnie Gaming 92," and it's like, you could just see it like stop there and just, for a second, like you could see like two guns pop up, your thug life glasses come on, and then it just start going. But the Sun Energy,
That would be funny.
it really would.
Colon P. Colon P again. Oh,
Sorry,
man.
funny. It is funny though. I'm just saying. But the Sun Energy one car, it looks good. I love and I have the diecast here, and the diecast versus like what they're showing the diecast will look like, and I'm not gonna purchase another diecast of it because it's pretty much the same thing, except there's rookie stripes on the back of this one, so I might if it's like in a wave again. But this game, it's okay. Just kind of, it looks good. Sun Energy one, it looks good. The orange tires, they pop out, stand out. The purple with like the light coming out of it, turning.
There's just so much to look at.
It's so much.
I mean, you could stare at this for a good hour,
And you'll
going over everything, and you still wouldn't have found all the details.
You really wouldn't. If Jeff Gordon would have drove this scheme, I swear it would have probably been like best seller.
Yeah, there you go. If Jeff had run that scheme, would it be that or the Rainbow Warrior?
I'd be honest with you. I think the Rainbow Warrior was. I mean, it would still beat it, but this would be like the closest second possible if Jeff was driving that.
So I think we can all agree on the 10 out of 10, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9. 9.
I'm gonna give it a 9 as well because there's so much to look at, and it's like they took. Again, this is one of those schemes where they took a bunch of time, but this time they threw in a lot of different colors, a lot of different fading and just designs in general. And then you see, like on the hood, if you look there, there's fire flames, and I have the diecast right here as well. And that black on the actual diecast, the black is darker than what it's being portrayed here because of how they have the lighting and stuff on it.
Yeah.
The black is dark on this car, and it just makes the fire just. You know how you see them like fake fireplaces where the fire's coming up and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this looks like.
Yeah, I can see that.
That thing is beast. And Bonnie said that he does that whole thug life thing off camera 24/7. All right. I will let Mantron introduce this next one.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so. Hooters! Get you some Hooters! More Hooters. Alright, so it's the Hooters scheme. If you couldn't tell already.
May I be blatantly obvious? Or obvious, honest?
Yes.
I hate it.
You're just going to like a 1, aren't you?
No, not a 1. I mean, this goes back to the 43 car. This looks nothing like the 24. I mean, if you put this on some other car, maybe. But this, for Chase Elliott, or the 24 in general, just no.
I'm actually going to disagree with you on this. This looks like something that should be on the 24. You look at the 3M scheme Jeff Gordon ran and put this next to it. Which one looks better? Yes.
Yeah.
This 2015 was literally like one of if the exhaust scheme had gotten changed like everything else did for Jeff, 2015 would have just been the worst year of paint scheme for that guy.
I'll just say it. 4.5.
I'm giving this I'm going to be honest with you. This is getting a 9 as well. This thing looks.
Are you sure it's not just because of the sponsor itself and what they do?
No, I'm actually going to say this fits Chase Elliott. Think about it. He gets to have the women next to him. Big ones, big jugs.
Kid friendly.
Now, I'm going to give this maybe a 6. I think it's kind of plain. It's good, but they could have done better, in my opinion.
I don't know. Just the way that everything is, to me, it just...
Rip headphone
and
users.
Furthermore, the Hooters restaurants, the only colors that they have are this orange, white, and a little bit of yellow mixed in, like this scheme is. And this, you could probably put Outback on the hood instead of Hooters, and it would be pretty much the same thing, because Outback Steakhouse and Hooters cars literally have the same colors. Maybe Outback's just a little bit darker. This is just my thing. Outback goes above and beyond with their schemes. Hooters, Hooters has never been one to like check out my scheme. Hot, simple. The restaurants are simple. Their theme is simple. And, I mean, it takes a while to find the right employees. Don't get me wrong. That takes a lot of searching, but it's just very simple.
Yeah.
That's why I give this a 9. I didn't really like the Alan Kawicki because it's just like Danica Patrick, the Clint Boyer, the Kurt Busch. They just put one color on the bottom, and then the rest is just one color with the sponsor and said, "Here, have at it."
Yeah.
This one, they actually put more. They put more attention to detail.
Yeah.
We have nobody watching.
We have no one watching.
Well,
we'll keep going.
All right. Well, I'm fixing to add in the last scheme.
All right, last scheme.
Before we get to this. And this one is the rant of a lifetime.
Okay.
Mantron, the stage is yours.
I kind of am sad that nobody's watching. Well, we have one viewer now. So here we go. Here's the rant. All right. Here's the rant, y'all.
Okay.
In 2017, Dylan Twisted Tea number 13 Chevrolet SS for Germain Racing. My problem with this scheme isn't the sponsor. Well, actually, it is. You could say it's a sponsor. It's got to do with the driver as well. But here's my thing. Ty Dillon, he's okay. I say he's probably better than his brother. That's just my opinion. I mean, I know he hasn't won. I know his brother's a champion, even though that was a crapshoot and a half. And all this other stuff. But I don't like the fact that Casey Mears drives for Germain Racing. Same sponsor, 3 different manufacturers. That would be Toyota, Ford, Chevy. 8 seasons. 8 freaking seasons. You honestly can't get the man another sponsor. Ty Dillon comes along, and guess what? Another freaking sponsor in his rookie year. All because his grandpa decided to put a deal together and decided, hey, you know what? Since my grandson's driving for you, here, let me help you out a little bit. Oh my God, I hate it whenever this stuff happens. Like someone with a name. If Jeff Gordon's kids decide they're going to race, if they're going to get all this treatment because of who they are, I don't want to see that. It's just like with, and I'm going to jump off on Dale Jr. on this one. It's just like with Junior. I'm sorry to the Junior fans, but like when his dad and him were racing, Junior really just, it was Dale Jr. All right, he had a few fans, because his dad's Dale Earnhardt, so Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s got to be pretty good. Then his dad dies, and it's like everyone jumps on the Junior bandwagon. Well, this is kind of, and it's because of the name. Look at Ty Dillon. His grandpa is Richard Childress. Sure, it ain't the same name, but Richard Childress. Very famous and very successful team owner in NASCAR. This is his grandson. Oh my God! It's just if you have any relations in NASCAR, you can get anywhere. Look at Ryan Reed, for God's sake. He doesn't have a name, but he has a sponsor, and his sponsor put him in the Cup Series. But you look at someone like Darrell Wallace Jr., who literally raced their butt off, and they can't get nowhere in life. He can't get nowhere. He's not going to get a Cup ride, but it comes down to sponsorship, or if you have a name in the sport. If you have any connections with a name. Dale Earnhardt didn't come into the sport like Junior pretty much did. Earnhardt had to work for it. Jeff Gordon didn't come into the sport like, he left. He left very famous. People enjoyed his racing career and all that. He didn't come into the sport like that. He came into the sport and had to fight for what he earned. Had to fight for what he won. So if his kids come along, they're probably going to be given the silver spoon treatment, just like Ty Dillon is, given all the best sponsors, the best rides, the best of this, that, and the other. And then, they're going to say, well, because, they had this one bad race, they just like, they weren't given the best equipment. Don't give me that bull crap. You're giving them the best equipment that your family could talk someone into giving you. That's just my problem with this. Like, honest to God, just it makes me so sick with this bull crap. You have a guy like Casey Mears. If Casey Mears would have had been on a team like Hendrick, if he would have went to Gibbs, if he would have went to Roush or somewhere, got a few years under his belt with a good team, he could have been a great driver. But no, he was thrown under the bus, given this ride, said, go with it, did the best he could with that sucky ride. Finally started performing decent last year, I'd have to say. You heard more about Casey Mears last year than you really ever did. And then he's just given the boot because Ty Dillon needs a ride. Then Casey Mears drives one sponsor, changes up the paint scheme depending on the situation or whatever. Ty Dillon comes along and you're going to get this sponsor for how many of her freaking races just because of your freaking connection, just because of your grip. I just can't take this crap. This is ridiculous.
Words of wisdom from Metron 24.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry to bring up like Dale Jr. in this, but
I see where you're coming from, and I do agree with a lot of what you're saying.
I mean, Casey Mears, like, honest to God, the guy is a good racer. Now he's just giving the boot because, I need a ride, and I'm going to give my grandson like 10 freaking sponsors. Because now, he's driving for this team. Old buddy system. Yeah, I'm going to treat you like you one of ours now.
Can I throw in a little bit of a rant here?
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's kind of similar. And it's about Joey Gase, he's getting cup races. He's not getting like the full ride, but he is given the opportunity to race in the Daytona 500. He's racing the 32 several times last year. Joey Gase, the guy stinks in Xfinity. I don't know if it's just because he has bad equipment or what, but there are plenty of other people who I think have proved themselves better, like Regan freaking Smith, or Darrell Wallace, or Justin Allgaier, or Matt DiBenedetto. I honestly think that they deserve more than Joey Gase or Greg Golding, who's also getting the 23 for most of the year. Greg Golding, where the heck did he come from? Boom, you have a cup ride.
Well, I mean, that's
crap.
It's just you have a sponsor, and that's what teams look for.
Greg Golding didn't even have a sponsor, at least not that I know of.
Yeah.
He just, they just feel bad for a guy. They just say, here, come ride. We got a sponsor. Yeah, you can try and make a name for yourself as the guy who wrecks every freaking week. Let's just have fun with it. And
I looked him up. He ran K&N for a year. And I don't even know if it was K&N. It may have just been modifieds. And boom, now he has now he's going to have an all but a full-time cup ride in the 23 with a couple of exceptions.
You do realize that he raced at Martinsville in 2016 chase race, right?
One race.
Yeah.
And so did DJ freaking Kennington. He raced in the Pinty Series in Canada. He's never even... And boom, cup ride. So at least start out in trucks or even Xfinity. Cup? What the... I'm sorry.
Greg Golding has Dr. Pepper. Best soda on earth. And then Baja Blast in second.
That was already with the 23 because they sponsored David Reagan almost all year in the 23.
Don't hold the moment. It's BK Racing, which, by the way, BK Racing is Burger King Racing.
Yeah, it was. And that now,
why?
Because it was the 83 and the 93.
Mm-hmm. What happened to Burger King?
I don't know.
Where did Burger King go?
I know the one nearby burned down.
The one in the one that in the town is actually pretty good. Burger King's my favorite fast food joint.
You know what? There are 2 Burger Kings within 5 minutes of my house. I'm not even kidding.
Dang, man, give me some burgers.
If I were to take a right out onto our busy street and go down about 5 minutes, about a mile or two, there'd be a Burger King. If I were to go the other way, there'd be another Burger King.
Hey, Velocity, when's the Clash?
Oh gosh, I haven't changed my calendar yet this month.
When's
Hold
the
on a sec.
Clash? What is that?
Oh,
Yeah, is it like this weekend or next weekend or?
I think it's the 18th.
I think it's the 18th. Yeah.
Yeah.
18th. Oh my
Okay.
So
gosh.
2 weeks from today.
Well,
So guys, I'm
so excited.
let me see, the 18th. Yeah, okay. So let me just say this. Guys, just so you know, the pre-race to the Clash, the podcast pre-race show, leave your funniest and most random comments, and we will pick our favorite ones from that stream. I will screenshot all of the funny ones and random ones. We'll pick our favorite ones. We'll do a little segment in the post-race show, because the post-race show is going to be more serious, discussing the race, and then we'll just have a little fun.
Yeah.
Just wanted to bring that up. So, again, we'll do our podcast on the 17th, our first ever pre-race podcast. We'll do that on the 17th. And it'll
Think
be
at about the
pretty
same
good.
time.
Yeah, like 8:30, maybe a little earlier, a little later, just depends. But yeah, for the most part. And Velocity,
Yeah.
since you're our news analyst for this podcast, you're the news guy. Tell us some news, please.
All right. So one of the big things that came out yesterday was that Nature's Bakery had pulled out from sponsoring Danica Patrick on January the 19th. And Stewart Haas Racing ended up suing them for $31 million because the contract was broken. The contract was supposed to be a 3-year deal, but Nature's Bakery pulled out, and Stewart Haas is accusing them of claiming that they had not given him enough social media exposure, when in all actuality that's a lie. So what do you guys think about that?
So it was Stuart Haas who was saying that Nature's Bakery didn't give them enough on social media, or vice versa?
Yeah.
Vice versa?
Well, not really vice versa, but
So Nature's Bakery was saying Stuart Haas wasn't giving them enough social media publicity.
yeah,
Oh,
but that's
okay,
actually
makes
not
more
true.
sense. Don't know why I thought it was the other way.
Yeah, because I remember that they were actually giving them quite a bit of social media stuff, but I don't see why anyone would want to even bring social media into this. I don't care about social media. I mean, YouTube's awesome. Twitter, it just comes in handy sometimes.
Yep.
It's just stupid. Like, you're going to fight over social media. 20 years ago, you were fighting over not giving me a commercial. Nowadays, you're fighting over you're not giving me a tweet.
Well, but the thing is, like, social media is the way to communicate with people these days.
Well, here's the
I mean,
thing.
think about it.
That's what I was going to say really quick. I created my Twitter on November of 2016. Go follow me. I'm at TopDragster48. So, and I followed almost everyone at Stuart Haas, including Danica. And probably 99% of the tweets that I would see from her involve Nature's Bakery in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
so
because,
the fact that they say that they weren't getting enough, I find a little ridiculous.
I just find that all these see, here's the thing that I hate, and this is just for any sponsor. You have to, like, bow down to them, and you have to literally, anything you do, you can't go 5 words without saying their name in a sentence. I hate it whenever the drivers are like, this, like this Cheez-It car, they got us to the finish.
Car?
Yeah, this is the Jesus car got me. the Jesus car, it helps out a lot more. No. Okay, so the Cheez-It. So the Cheez-It or the KFC or the DuPont. I'm even gonna say this. I don't like it whenever a driver has to say, "Well, this guy." No, it didn't. Your sponsor just paid you. They paid you.
You're the one that actually
just
drove the darn thing.
yes. They didn't get out of their CEO uniforms and go drive for you. So I hate it whenever they're like, you just didn't say enough about us. You didn't do. No, if 99% of your tweets involves them in some way, just because that's your job, then you're getting publicity. It just might be that, some people don't like to watch NASCAR. You ever think of that?
Mm-hmm.
God. And then they want to just like cry about it. Dude, we know Danica sucks, all right? You should have in your contract put, if she doesn't perform this good in her first year, we'll shorten the amount of races, if not just leave in general.
Actually, they did.
Yeah,
They
they
put
did.
that-
They shortened it from like 24 to 22.
See, it was 28 last year.
And if I may
It was
also point
26
out,
this
she
year
has one.
and 20 the year after.
If I may also point out, she has 1.63 million followers on Twitter. I know that because I just now looked it up. And yep, everything has changed. Her picture, she's in a different fire suit. The car and her account background is the Tax Act car now, which, if I may also say, is a very nice scheme.
So maybe Tax Act's going to sponsor her.
Yeah,
for quite a bit.
Yeah, she got Tax Act. I think she has Aspen Dental. Yeah.
I think also like any of the 4 teams for Stewart Haas Racing, any of the 4 cars, if a sponsor doesn't, sponsor you, here's the trouble I think people see with this. Oh my God, they're not going to have a sponsor. They're not going to have a full-time schedule. No. Stewart Haas. Haas is in the name. Haas. He can easily just slap himself on your, slap himself. Just put your Gene Haas on your car and go with it. You can easily just say, hey, boss, put Haas on the car, okay? And it's not like
Kurt Busch did.
Yeah, it's not like it's going to hurt anything. Tony Stewart drove a Haas car. Good Lord. Like, Tony Stewart didn't have all his sponsorships filled, so Haas just jumps on board with it because, they're co-owners anyways. And I don't think that's a problem. Like, they're the only team, besides BK Racing, that can easily just put their company on the car and not have to worry about other sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the one thing about Danica Patrick. While she may be a horrible driver, she's very marketable and popular with fans.
She's
The
popular
more
with me,
popular
that's
of a
for sure.
driver you are, the more exposure you're probably going to get.
Yeah. And that's why GoDaddy sponsored her as long as they did.
Yeah.
I mean, they sponsored her back in her IndyCar days.
Hey, Noah. Noah's on the stream.
Oh, no, isn't it? But yeah,
Here's one more question.
Hey, man. All right, I think that we should get close to wrapping it up here because we've been going for almost an hour and a half.
All right.
What do you got?
Okay. So I'm going to just do 2 more here. I think these are going to be brief.
All right.
Front Row buys charter from BK Racing and leases it to TriStar Motorsports.
So TriStar now has the charter.
It's being leased to TriStar. Front Row owns the charter.
Okay, good.
That would explain why Cole Witt all of a sudden gets this ugly ride. Hey, Cole, can you come drive for us? Yeah, sure. It's not like we're going to miss a freaking race. I think that, yes, as speculation, some people have speculated. Yeah, I think Furniture Row's 3-car team is going to come back. That's what I said, Front Row.
So, do you think the roster will look the same? Do you think they'll still have Castle and Reagan back in 18?
Well,
It should.
I hope so.
I can probably see Landon Castle staying because
David Reagan, I know you might not see Reagan staying, but I could see David Reagan staying because the team kind of fits him. Like, he knows the guys. They apparently all
Yeah.
get along. I think something about these lower class teams, even though like they don't perform well, it's like everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not like Hendrick Motorsports. You have like over 700 people. These lower class teams, you might not even have 100 people working in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but like the 34 is like their main team, and like when they signed Reagan over, they moved Castle to the 34 for some reason. I mean, it really wasn't necessary.
Now see, this is the thing with Furniture Row. Like, they did
Front
that to
row.
David Gilliland. Front row.
Yeah, they did that. They did do that to David Gilliland.
Yeah, they did that back in 2011, putting him in the 34 instead of the 38, even though he'd been driving the 38 for years, and got back in the 38 for 2012. So I think
And
it's
then,
just
2012 up until 2015 when he retired, or I guess.
Well, sort
Oh.
of. He
Retired,
ran the plate
quote,
races.
unquote.
He ran the plate races last year in the 35.
Yeah. Last year.
yeah.
Which, by the way, he led a lap at Talladega.
I think I remember that, maybe.
Yeah, and in a damaged car. That car was damaged, and that was like the thirdary, whatever the heck, the primary, I don't know, car,
Yeah.
which is like the least attention, and he was doing really well in it. So, just like primary and secondary cars, honestly, I don't think there is such a thing, or per se. It's like
Okay.
having a number 1 and number 2 driver in Formula One. The cars are equal,
All right.
but that's just me.
Here's the next one.
so
I'm going to move on to the next one here.
All right. last one.
Jeffrey Earnhardt
Yeah.
to Circle Sport TMG ride. He's going to run the 500, but it's possible he could get the full season. So I want to know,
I
will
would
he,
actually
and
like
if
to-
so, what will his sponsors be?
Sponsor? Oh boy.
he will, and his sponsors will be anything Junior can get him.
Yep. Mandron?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's why I disagree.
I'm just
with that.
joking,
No, in all
dude. I'm
seriousness.
joking around.
I know, but like, if it was really all based on sponsors, like a Junior getting him sponsors, like he'd be in the 5 car. They would have put him in the 5 car if they had sponsorship for him.
Trust me.
That would
Right.
suck.
Look, you can't have 2 Earnhardts be that popular at the same time. See, you see how it did with Earnhardt Senior.
Yeah.
Not many people were really Junior fans, and then Earnhardt croaked. So then everyone's like a Junior fan. So that's where the sponsorship part comes in. And you see how Junior helped out Chase Elliott. Quite a
Well, yeah.
ride, getting him the Napa sponsorship. So that's what I'm saying.
No,
I
it
mean,
was Rick Hendrick. It was actually Rick Hendrick who signed him to the driver development program.
yeah,
And because Junior Motorsports is affiliated with Hendrick, they put him in a JRM car.
but see what I'm just saying, like, it's kind of like Napa kind of jumped on board, and then just because of Junior, like Napa kind of jumped on board. They signed contracts.
Well, Dale Jr.'s kind of friends with some of the guys at Napa.
And that's what I'm saying. So I could see maybe Junior, he's like friends with like 100 different sponsors or something just because he's Dale
Yeah.
Jr. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, he can help him out.
Yeah, he can help.
But I mean, I know in the way I was doing it, I was being funny. But it could actually end up. He could actually help him out.
If I may throw in one more rant here.
Okay.
Mantron, earlier you were saying about Junior didn't have many fans until Earnhardt died. Senior, I mean. Now, I will. Is Junior as good as Senior? Heck no. But
No.
he's good. I mean, he has wins. I do give him credit. The guy is pretty decent. Jeffrey Earnhardt sucks.
But how do you know that? Because I think we've only seen him in good equipment maybe once or twice.
And both times he sucked.
Hold on. I'm gonna look up a few Jeffrey Earnhardt stats here.
But let me just point out here, they put him for the Talladega Chase race last year. They put him in the 83, and they just said they just gave a big middle finger to Benedetto and put him in the 93. Jeffrey Earnhardt is a prime example of what Mantron was saying earlier about writing a name. And that is exactly what Jeffrey Earnhardt is doing.
Well,
I'm
but
sorry.
here's the other thing. Now, here's what I'm wanting to point out. That I don't think is the name, because you look at well, I mean, I don't know, but see all the guys who took over that 83 this year.
Yeah.
That's because De Benedetto could qualify his way in. So they gave the other guy a car that had the charter, because under the charter rule, it doesn't have to be the same driver. This car had to be driving for at least the last 3 years full time, which the 83 has been. So that's why they did that.
It still just heavily irritates me that, to me, it looks like they're just treating De Benedetto like absolute garbage.
Well, that's because De Benedetto was like their best driver. The best driver.
I mean, one sentence sums it up. 6th place at Bristol. 6th freaking place in a BK racing car. What does that tell you about the guy?
Pretty good.
And now he's stuck in the 32, which I think is a step down.
It is.
I'm sorry.
It really is.
I'm sorry. I like De Benedetto, and I really wanted to see him do well. So just seeing him keep getting kicked to the curb like this, it's annoying. Although so did Regan Smith. He got kicked.
Well, it had to do with sponsorship, I think.
And that's back to the
Going
dang
back to what we were saying.
sponsorship thing that Mantron was saying.
Yeah, this is literally all this. Before you jump in a car, go from somebody. Now you have to have a sponsor and be a somebody.
Right.
So, velocity, anything else?
Well, I will say one thing. I think it's horrible that you can be the best driver. You can be the best driver NASCAR's ever seen. But if you can't get a sponsor to back you, you're not going to go anywhere.
That's
And what's sad is that, like, the bad drivers, like, they seem to be the ones getting the sponsors, and they never do anything.
Look, right here. Here's the best example. Ryan Reed, Bubba Wallace. Ryan Reed wins one race, 2015 Daytona, the 300, the driver's COPD bullcrap, where Kyle Busch's treacherous life began. And yes, that was sarcasm. But anyways, sponsor because he's a diabetic, like one diabetic. He has a sponsor. He sponsored him like he can't shake him. He's not wanting to shake him. Roush sponsored himself. But anyways, so pretty much all of the races, he gets sponsorship to get him into the chase race at Talladega. Bubba Wallace.
Yeah.
Races. Kyle Busch. So Bubba Wallace has done very good with that. Comes over to Roush, which was the biggest downgrade ever.
He chose a bad time.
Makes the chase inaugural season that it was introduced to the Xfinity Series. Ryan Reed does not, but Ryan Reed, Bubba Wallace. Sponsorship, all that played in.
Sponsorship was a prime thing. And also, apparently, in all of motorsport, apparently if you have diabetes, boom, you're good. IndyCar, Charlie Kimball, it's a prime example of that. Charlie Kimball stinks. He drives for Ganassi. I don't know how much you guys watch IndyCar, but I'll just say, Ganassi, I know in NASCAR they're kind of middle of the road, but in IndyCar they're one of the biggest teams, right next to Penske.
Watch Ganassi this year. They're the second best Chevy team in the field right now, or maybe third best. But as far as Hendrick goes, they're gonna get so much information from Hendrick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all Hendrick has to depend on right now is Ganassi. That's literally it.
Yeah, Ganassi.
See, that's what I was actually saying. Like, when they made the switch, this is Hendrick's going to be a down slope as well as Stewart Haas. No, Hendrick's not, because they don't have to focus, 10 cars. Literally, they have their team to worry about, and then, like, the second biggest themselves, Ganassi, and anyone else who just wants to be affiliated with them. It might be They really don't have anything to worry about. Just focus on your team, and they'll actually probably go back years ago.
Mhm.
I think the reason that they struggled last year was because of the announcement by Stuart Haas, and I think that's what was struggling with them was because they were trying to figure everything out. They weren't focusing long enough. And finally, at the end of the season, they're like, you know what? Get all this. Let's go get the championship.
Yeah.
And that's when their act changed.
Hmm.
Well, that and the fact that Jimmy Johnson's awesome. That's beside the point.
Well, anything else, guys?
I think that's all that I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And yeah, we've been doing this for over an hour and a half
I know.
now.
I don't think
so-
for the following episodes will be that long, but since this is our pilot episode, we're just trying to figure out how
Yeah.
to get things going here.
Yeah,
yes.
this whole ranting period has been long.
I think our next podcast, and I know this, I believe Tyson, I know Tyson is going to be our guest host.
Guest host,
So-
yeah.
That's right. Yeah. I think we forgot to mention that earlier.
Yeah, well, since, people might come back and watch this anyway. Maybe not, because I don't know.
Hopefully.
No Keep Series, aka Tyson Gifford, will be our guest host on the podcast coming up, I guess, next week. It's just going to be a random one. It's just going to be like the midweek show. We'll call it the midweek show. Our
Yeah.
podcast. Where we literally do nothing but joke around about nothingness. So, yeah. This ought to be good, but again, thank you for the ones that actually watched this. Again, I know I was the host of this episode. Host will differ. I believe I'm going to be the full-time host of maybe the midweek podcast, and those aren't going to be very many of those during the year. I like the pre-race and post-race. I'm going to let these guys handle that.
I'm in.
So, and we'll figure out who's going to host what. But again, I know for a fact I will be hosting the midweek. And I was lucky to get the shot of hosting this episode. But apparently it was the most unanimous decision between us three. And all because I'm the greatest of all time. So, no, I'm joking. So it's because these guys just, they were like, this is what they did. They were like, so who's going to host? Well, I think Mantron, we suck. And he's, nah, again, I'm joking with you. No, I really don't know why they let me do this. I don't know why they would let me do anything like this.
No,
God
I
only
don't
knows.
know either.
And God's probably sitting there. Anyway, just remember, some of the greatest schemes this year will probably be the Jesus car from all.
I am going to watch it back so many times.
Yes, God. Hey, Top.
Huh?
It sounded like when Kroger, Jesus.
He got Kroger. He got Jesus. He got.
But,
Man, that was just so unexpected.
so yeah. Thank you guys for watching. The ones that have, and if you watch this after it's been posted, like anyone to watch, and it's not live anymore. Just, congratulations for sitting through over an hour and a half of just stupidity, rambling, rants. Mainly an hour and a half dealing with me. You finally got you probably hit a Guinness Book of World Record dealing with me. These two, y'all can probably me. Yeah, just thank y'all. Stream's fixing to end, and just remember, hashtag the Jesus car. All right,
Hashtag the Jesus car. Trend that now.
Yep.
Almondinger sponsored by Jesus. I can just see that like right now.
Oh my God.
Then he just roller skates down pit road and falls with his Jesus uniform, like Morgan Shepherd. All right, guys. Fixing to end the stream here. Remember to tune
All right.
back in sometime midweek we'll probably announce it. I'll probably announce it on my channel.
I will do the
Yeah.
same.
So thank you guys so much for watching the pilot episode. Give us feedback if you want.
Yes, please do. Please.
Let
We
us
don't want to
know how we're
embarrass
doing,
ourselves.
because I think we've
Yeah,
already
just-
embarrassed ourselves enough.
Yeah, but if you don't want to give us feedback, that's fine. We're not gonna force you. We're just gonna come to your house, knock on your door, hold you there, threaten
No, we're
you, drip
not.
with a plastic cup, probably slam your head up against a pillow and tickle you to death, and then try to like tell us how we did, and then we'll leave your house as soon as you tell us that we did good, because we don't want to hear any negative stuff.
And also leave some funny random comments down below, and then
Yes.
we'll
yes,
use
please do.
those in future episodes.
Yeah, because I don't think that one live stream's gonna do enough, because like
Right.
we really didn't get above 5 viewers. No, we did. We hit 6.
We had 6 at one point.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So yeah, just leave your comments like after the video is posted. Just your stupidest, randomest stuff. Randomest, that makes sense. Randomest.
That's random.
Just about like Bonnie. Da, 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 thug life.
Whatever you want.
All right.
Just as long as
so-
it's appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, if it's inappropriate, we'll let Top read it.
That
All right.
would be fun.
If it's appropriate, if it's like Sunday school for 3rd graders, we'll let Velocity read it, because that's just kind
Oh gosh.
of.
And
It's
if
just
it's, I don't know. But we'll discuss that when we get there. Anyways.
Yeah.
all right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next time. This is Mantron24
Top Dragster.
Velocity 88X.
on the what's this channel's name again?
Mantopicity 22488.
Underscore. Yeah, and Topicity 2488 underscore, because Top is too lazy to put a number in his name. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching Draft
See ya.
Attack. Peace out, guys.
Draft Attack out.